friends, YouTube is no longer sending you my new videos. I urgently need you to like and comment on this video to help us maintain our channel. Please, like this video. Thank you, and let's go to the video. Goku and Vegeta are training with Grand Priest Something to be the best friend of Shino-sama and allow both Saiyans to train with the same Grand Priest. In these 2 months, we have trained a lot and we have become very powerful, and I'm able to access the Ultra Instinct at will, but only defensively. For the first time, I feel that you have surpassed Kakarot. I've been able to dominate the Ultra Ego 100%. Both Saiyans were talking about all the progress they had made, but at the moment, a powerful ki will be felt all over the place, and an incredible pressure would fall on the bodies of both Saiyans. That's right, Grand Priest will be ready to devour every drop of the power that both Saiyans had collected. I'm already tired of training you. You will be part of my power to form a perfect being. Goku and Vegeta will be on the ground, unable to move, but at that very moment, an unknown being would appear in front of both Saiyans, being able to connect an incredible blow to the entire face of Grand Priest, which would make it an area of the palace. Dragged for a few meters, that warrior would expel an abominable power, with which he intended that the King of Everything would be aware of everything that happened, not having any answer. Well, but if you are Yamoshi, I thought that by hiding for millions of years you had already died. But apparently you have had the guts to return to where your last defeat was. What the hell happened to Zeno? I've released enough power for the King of Everything to be aware of my presence. For the day that makes me King of Everything, there must be no fault. So the King of Everything will be resting in a very different dimension from this. Yamoshi, realizing that it would not be easy, would access his legendary state, beginning to destroy everything around due to the incredible power that he unleashed and was releasing his body. After a few minutes, a great explosion would be observed everywhere, and Yamoshi could be observed in his legendary state. Kakarot, Vegeta, use all your power since the other method will be very risky. At the moment, both Saiyans raised their power to the maximum in the same way, with which they were nothing compared to Yamoshi, but despite that, the warrior trio swung against Grand Priest, not having enough power to defeat him. Grand Priest instantly, at a great overwhelming speed, was able to leave Son Goku and Vegeta while holding Yamoshi by the neck. What happened to Yamoshi? You were the most powerful Saiyan of the 18 universes, already finished in these conditions, but you have my respect when you return, knowing that 95% of your power is sealed. It does not matter if I die, there is still hope. At the moment, Yamoshi would throw a great energy spear towards Goku, which had disappeared. That's right, it seemed to have been completely disintegrated. Although I die and my Saiyan essence is completely discarded. Universal Reboot. At that moment, all universes, galaxies, absolutely all the multiverse and Zeno had returned to the past. But before Grand Priest was affected, he would use a large part of his power, with which he would neutralize the definitive technique of Yamoshi. The moment all the universes returned to the past, Grand Priest was completely alone in the Kingdom of Everything. Damn Saiyan, return in time, he did not care to cease to exist. Using such power should end his vital existence. But it does not matter. I have all the power I have accumulated in all this time. There is no being that is able to face me. However, in Universe 7, but specifically on the planet named Vegeta, a powerful barrier was covering the entire universe. What the hell? Why do I feel my body so small? What does this mean? That's right, Goku was born again. But at the moment, he would be able to preserve Yamoshi in his mind. Kakarot, with my last reserve of energy, I have been able for everything to happen again. You have only one chance. I have given you the power of the Omni Saiyan. That's right, despite being only a child, the power of the Omni Saiyan detached from Kakarot's body, destroying a large part of the planet Vegeta, but the powerful barrier of Yamoshi was able to remove it. Kakarot, I trust you. Do not let that priest discover you until you feel prepared to fight him again, since his power is still the same. I have one more chance to defeat that bastard. I cannot believe that we are in the past again. What happened to my family and friends? I'll finish you, priest. Meanwhile, King Vegeta at that moment would give him this maxim. Realizing that a simple Saiyan child had such power, he would give the order of execution. Bardock, knowing about the order of King Vegeta and to intuit the betrayal of Frieza, would send his son to Earth, which at the time of arrival would be found in the same way by the grandfather's son Gohan. All Goku's adventures would take place normally. The only difference would be that in that matter, everything would be extremely easy for the Warrior Saiyan, which after a few years, Goku would reach his adult age, but it would take an unexpected turn. That's right, Frieza would arrive on Earth in search of the Dragon Balls. All the soldiers would begin to destroy the entire Earth. At the moment, Goku would face the army of Frieza, being able to finish off each soldier in a single movement. Frieza would be very surprised, but feeling a strange pressure on his body, he would decide to access his last form. You, a Saiyan. You are very familiar with the Saiyan that faced me when I destroyed the entire planet Vegeta. They were excellent fireworks. Frieza, despite being in the past and in the future, you don't change. But this time, I will have to finish you. Goku, without further effort, would end the life of the Emperor of Evil, making it look like something extremely simple. However, a powerful goddess was watching him. That's right, Diamoshi was immortal. His technique suffered several errors, but he fulfilled the task. But beings that did not exist before in his multiverse did not exist this time. Wow, the power of that Saiyan is incredible, and you can feel the power of a goddess inside. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, he would wake up much earlier than expected because he felt the energy of a god. Hey Whis, what happened in my absence? Are there any important news? Mr. Beerus, Frieza just died. What? Does anyone have enough power to finish Frieza? That's right, sir, and it's a Saiyan, which even has the power of a god. I cannot realize how much, but it has the essence of a god living inside it. So a Saiyan, that will be much more interesting than the one there. Call the 53 Saiyan, I want to have a fight with him. At the moment, Whis along with Beerus would go to the Earth. However, when he realized Beerus' presence, he would use teleportation, appearing in front of both deities. Whis would stop abruptly, which would make Beerus angry. Hey Whis, what the hell is going on? Do not stop like that again. However, Beerus' gaze would change to a much more serious when he realized that a being was in front of them, and his presence was somewhat doubtful. You are the Saiyan's son Goku, also known as Kakarot. How have you been able to find us? Mortals cannot feel the ki of a god. This is something very easy to answer. I am not a simple mortal. Many years ago, I stopped being. I want to have a battle with you, Saiyan. In this case, I will use 20% of all my power. I'll let you go, otherwise I will end your pathetic life. Goku would give a smile, passing to the Super Saiyan, with which both warriors began to fight. While Goku exchanged blows, he would remember his first battle against Beerus. The moment he would return to normal, I will finish with the damned Grand Priest. At the moment, Goku was very distracted, which received a great blow that made him fall to the ground, being swept away for a few meters. Goku would quickly recover from the blow. Wow, you are very powerful, but what do you think of this? This time I will use my divided ki. Whis and Beerus were surprised to learn that Saiyan would use the power of a god. Goku would instantly access the Super Saiyan Blue, which the whole universe would become extinct, but this would be sealed by the Emoshi barrier, not allowing its power to expand. What do you think, Beerus? Do you want to have enough power to face me? Beerus, a little annoyed by the question of the Saiyan, he launched the attack. However, at that moment, the difference in power was abysmal, because Goku possessed the Omni God, which he had never used before since his birth. At the moment, Beerus would raise a large part of his power, which would leave Goku very surprised, because he never observed Beerus' maximum power. I have never used all my power, but I can realize that you are worthy. Beerus, with his maximum speed, would begin to exchange blows with Goku, which on that occasion, his blows would cause him great damage. However, Beerus would throw a large spear of energy, with which he would leave Goku very badly injured and in terrible condition. It's over, Saiyan. You have incredible power, but not enough to defeat a god like me. I felt that attack almost finished me. Beerus, you have incredible power, but I think I will use all my power against you. Goku at the moment would use the ultimate perfect, which was nothing of Goku's power, but this would leave Whis very surprised, which he had noticed the state of that Saiyan. It just seems that you have returned to your base state, Saiyan. Beerus would raise Goku with incredible ease. He would connect several blows in a matter of seconds, making him vomit large amounts. At that moment, Beerus would try to stand up, but all his internal energy system would have been altered due to the incredible power of Goku's blows. Sirius, which was watching the whole battle, would be very surprised, due to the fact that the power of that Saiyan turned out to be of another level. I cannot believe what I have seen. Beerus, candidate to be a super god of destruction, was defeated without any difficulty. I'm sure that Saiyan is a descendant of a super god. Sirius would quickly use a dimensional loop, starting to travel between dimensions to get much more quickly to the battlefield.
Mr. Beerus has nothing to do. Saiyan's power has outdone him. I cannot believe it. At that moment, Beerus would be out of combat. His organs were suffering an incredible damage. At that moment, Whis would heal his god. However, he had been out of combat. Mr. Goku, what are you? The power I possess is not normal. No mortal had ever achieved such a power, not even the Prince of the Saiyans of the planet Vegeta. You will soon know, Whis, so you should not worry. However, an incredible pressure would be felt all over the universe. Goku, with a serious look, would tell him, Whis, it is better that you do not want to fight against me. You do not have enough power to face me. I know you are an angel, but my power transcends more than this. Goku was surprised when he saw Whis. With great difficulty to stand up, Goku would throw a large spear of energy to act as a barrier. At the moment, the planets that were close would begin to destroy each other for such incredible power that was approaching. This is impossible. It's the power of Kiri-sama. Kiris?
I never heard that name in my timeline. Goku, despite having activated the Ultra Instinct, he had been sent to fly in a great blow, falling to a planet, destroying it completely, due to the incredible power of the blow. Oh, I do not know, Saiyan. I thought you had the guard up, but my next move will be much slower so that you are able to observe it. Goku, a little upset, threw himself against the woman, which was surprised to realize that Kirios' power was able to humiliate him without effort. Goku, at that moment, he would receive a great blow to his stomach, and in a kick he would be sent to fly again, losing the Ultra Instinct. Ouch! That did hurt me. Who the hell is that woman? The power I possessed is abominable. I cannot believe it. Goku at that moment would begin to increase a large part of his power. That's right, Goku would begin to give up the perfect Ultra Instinct. But the power he possessed in that state, it was crazy. So you plan to use a large part of all your power? This is interesting. You are gods of this universe. Get out! This will be fun. Kiri's would also begin to increase his power in an unreal way. By both increasing their powers in such an abysmal way, hundreds of planets would be destroyed by the simple destruction of powers. At the moment, an incredible silver star could be observed throughout the 7th universe. The power of both warriors was incomprehensible, notwithstanding the powerful barrier of Yamoshi. He was able to fulfill his purpose of not letting any power expand through the 2 universes. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Grand Priest had woken up from a long sleep since using much more power than his body supported. He had spent every drop of energy to support Yamoshi's technique. After several years, by dream I was able to fully recover. But what an idiot Yamoshi was! No matter what happens, I still have the same original power. At the moment, the King of Everything would stand in front of Grand Priest, which was a little nervous. Hey, die! I'm very bored. I don't know what to do. It would be better to summon the Supreme Teachers and the Divine God. Grand Priest was very confused because he knew absolutely nothing about those gods. I don't understand. Zeno, I'm sorry, but I had a blow to my head which has eroded a part of my memory. Don't worry, Priest. I'm going to make a call to the Supreme Teachers and the Divine God. Those are their coordinates. The Guardian of Zeno had given him the coordinates of each god with which Grand Priest had to communicate. Meanwhile, returning to the battlefield, a great Ozaru would be created everywhere, symbolizing the beast that Goku carried inside, while Kiri's released an amazing power which could not lose against Goku's. Damn it! The power of that goddess is incredible! I never knew the existence of such a strong woman. Has Yamoshi's technique failed in something? Saiyajin, your power is incredible. I can't believe how capable you have been of carrying your power. But to face me, a supreme goddess, you have to train for 1,000,000 more years. At the moment, both warriors were born against each other. However, Kiri's had stopped time. with which, despite having an Ultra Instinct, he would give him hundreds of blows all over his body. At the moment, Goku went at a planet, destroying it by the extreme power of Kurisa's blows. Well, you don't get up from that, Saiyajin. You are very powerful. You have increased 50% of all my power, and that is something that no pathetic god of these universes has achieved. At that moment, a great wave of energy would form all over the place where Goku was, which had released much more power in the state of Ultra Instinct. You are fast, but your blows are not so powerful. With those simple blows, you will not be able to defeat me. Curious is a bit annoying. Being underestimated, he would grant him in a matter of seconds millions of blows, which Goku was not able to dodge. Despite having the Ultra Instinct, he was able to dodge only a few. Curious would send him to fly with a strong kick, and at the moment, large amounts of blood would come out of Goku's entire body, which was in a terrible state. Ouch! That has caused me pain. What the hell? What the hell has happened? Realizing that with 50% of all my power I was not able to hurt you, I raised my power to 65%. And I can see that it is a big difference. This madman can kill me. I can't allow this. I don't know his name, or who the hell he is, but this time I will show you the power that goes beyond the Ultra Instinct. Goku would begin to increase his power in an amazing way, with which his power began to destroy everything around him. That's right, this time, Son Goku's hair began to grow. Curious made some loud noises of Osiris. It would go back a few meters due to the sonic power of the noise. What is this subject, since he is not a simple god and much less a mortal? But every moment arouses much more interest in me. I will take him to my planet. At the moment of a great explosion, Goku would appear with the Ultra Instinct, Phase 3, which with an intimidating look would put a great pressure on the goddess, which did not mutate. Maybe it goes in an unreal way, but it still appears as necessary to be able to finish with a... Curious was not able to finish his phrase, since a strong blow of Goku had sent him to fly to a planet, being dragged through several mountains of place. What do you think of the true power of a Saiyajin? Do you want to be able to do something against me? Curious at the moment would recover from the blow, and with a huge fury would launch against that Saiyajin. While the battle of both was taking place, Grand Priest had reached one of the 3 points of the Supreme Gods, observing a being which he had never seen in his timeline. However, the moment would come even closer, and a red blood pressure would make Grand Priest kiss the ground. That's right, Grand Priest was totally prostrated on the ground of the Supreme God. What happens, Your Majesty?
I did nothing to disrespect you. Please stop releasing pressure. I'm not able to move. So you have done nothing to disrespect me, useless priest? You must know that entering my territory, you must make a reverence and ask for my authorization. Now you're dead. I'm sorry, sir. I did not remember. Please forgive my life. I implore you. Freak. What was the name of the subject? I would stop putting incredible pressure, allowing Grand Priest to be able to move with some freedom. Tell me, what is offered to you, miserable good-for-nothing? In case it is stupidity, I will not hesitate to end your pathetic life. The great Shino-sama asked for the presence of the 3 supreme gods, and I have come here to inform you. So, I know you want a meeting. What the hell do you want this time? It's okay, priest. You can leave. Grand Priest, when giving the information, would leave quickly, which was very confused by everything that was happening. What the hell? Who are those supreme gods and the divine god? Grand Priest would quickly go to another location of a new god. Meanwhile, returning to the battlefield, Sirius was very badly wounded, with multiple wounds all over her body. Damn, I did not think that a simple Saiyan would be able to do this to me, to make me even use all my power. I hope you are prepared. Now I will go with everything. Sirius at that moment would raise her power to the maximum, with which the barrier that Yamashi had placed within the Universe 7 would be completely destroyed. Coco would quickly use the power of her eye, since having the power of the UFO was able to change dimensions. That's right,
Coco would have teleported along with Cirrus to a very different dimension. What the hell have you done, Saiyan? I no longer want to fight with you, and I can see that you do not have bad intentions. So I'll find out who I really am. Coco at that moment would return to her base state, putting a very serious look, while Cirrus would define her power, being in rest mode. Coco at that moment would explain that he comes from the future, which Cirrus was not able to believe everything she heard. I know it's something very complicated to assimilate, but all this is true. A powerful guy named Yamoshi, he was able to save me, giving me another chance to defeat Grand Priest. I cannot believe what you tell me, since the powerful god Yamoshi exists in our time, and he is called the Divine God, but he has pure evil in his heart. Coco would be amazed by the fact of Cirrus, when he was able to assimilate him, remembering the exact moment in which Yamoshi had sacrificed each part of his divine existence as to be able to perform his Megaversal Restart technique. However, at that moment, Grand Priest would telepathically communicate with Cirrus by not finding her on her planet. Cirrus Wallace, thanks to us, he has requested his presence in the Kingdom of Everything. I understand. At some point, I will be in the palace of the King of Everything. Cirrus would quickly leave the dimension in which she will be together with Goku, while he was in a state of shock because he did not know what was happening. What the hell is happening in that place? I'm not able to assimilate anything that Cirrus has told me. Another Yamoshi? How is it possible? Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, the 3 supreme gods had arrived, which Grand Priest would not fix because he had never seen them before. But at that very moment, an incredible dark power would be felt all over the place. The same in the palace of the Xeno began to be destroyed a little, while a silhouette was present. That's right, at that moment, Yamoshi, the powerful divine god, would be present in the Kingdom of Everything, which with his incredible power would make the supreme gods kneel, which released their power so not to be so affected. However, all beings of the Kingdom of Everything were not able to breathe with the exception of the Xeno, which was in a neutral look. And at the instant, a great light would be observed all over the place. What the hell is happening to us? I'm not able to move, and the useless Xeno is able to do it as if it were easy. The King of Everything, with his base state, is able to bear the pressure of the divine god Yamoshi, but he has decided to transform. Grand Priest at that moment would be much more surprised to know that the King of Everything of this timeline possessed a transformation. The pressure of Xeno was much more aggressive than the pressure of Yamoshi, which was disappearing the pressure of it. But the pressure of Xeno was able to make all the supreme gods fall on their knees while Xeno and Yamoshi were watching. So long without seeing you, damn dwarf. I say the same, Yamoshi Destroyer God. Grand Priest would be very surprised to realize that the warrior who was in front of him was Yamoshi. However, Yamoshi in his timeline possessed a calm power and far below his version. Damn, Yamoshi's technique had too many errors, even creating a malignant version of it. The reason why I have called depends on the fact that I have found a crack in the timeral space, in which we don't know what has been caused. For that reason, I am on guard. Is this something bad, Xeno?
Or is it because he has sent us to call? We do not know if a being has entered our multiverse. For that reason, if I inform you to be supreme gods, all the gods would leave the place while Grand Priest was very thoughtful, and would observe that the King of Everything had returned to his base state. Damn, that would be much more difficult than it was in my time. Meanwhile, with Cyrus, she was in her palace very thoughtful. Since everything had been informed to the King of Everything, it coincided with each word of Saiyan. However, at that moment, a hole would form in the palace of Cyrus, which would be on guard. However, it was Goku. How have you been able to get to that place? Although you call yourself a supreme god, I am able to feel your power. So, in my multiverse, it is easy to locate you. I understand. Tell me, what do you want? I want you to take me in front of Yamoshi. I have several questions to ask him. Cyrus would be very surprised because not even she has enough value as to enter the territory of the powerful divine god Yamoshi. I will not do it. That is a safe death. The temperament of the god Yamoshi is very exclusive. In that same place, it will end all of us. I beg you, Cyrus, I have to know what happened. I feel lost. Goku had been able to convince Cyrus, so at that moment both warriors with the change of dimension of Cyrus. They had arrived in a matter of seconds to a place that even looked like hell. What the hell is this place? Can someone live in a place like this? However, at that moment, a great pressure would fall on the body of both. Goku would fall to the ground very badly injured. Being only in his base state, but at the moment he would access the Ultra Instinct, being able to stand.
What do you want, Cyrus, and why do you bring a pathetic Saiyan to my world? Do you want to die? Yamoshi, I know you don't remember me, but I have something very important to tell you. Yamoshi at that moment would be upset because a warrior so pathetic had called him by his name. Without showing him the slightest respect, Yamoshi in a few blows had been able to leave Cyrus and Goku on the ground very badly injured. Goku, realizing that Cyrus was injured because of him, decided to use the power which was given to him since his birth. I will not let you hurt Cyrus. She has only helped me, so now you will face me. Observe the Omni power of the god Saiyajin. At the moment, Goku would expel an incredible power, and in the same way Cyrus was close to him, she would be protected by his aura, and even recovering completely. At the moment, several marks would appear throughout Goku's body, leaving Yamoshi and Cyrus very surprised. With a loud scream, Goku had acceded to the Omni Super Saiyan God, which was ready to face Yamoshi. Goku was accessing the Omni Super Saiyan God, the power beyond a god. Yamoshi would be very surprised by all the power that Saiyan was releasing. At the moment, Yamoshi, without falling behind, would begin to expel an abysmal power. However, he gave loud screams for a great pain he had in his head. What the hell is happening to me? I'm not able to dominate all my power. This hurts. I'm not able to assimilate it. Yamoshi would access the legendary Super Saiyan. However, the negative energy that was released was unreal. That's right, Yamoshi's power was much more negative than Goku's. At the moment, Goku with a great explosion could be observed with his new transformation, power that would even be perceived by the Great Priest. What the hell, and now who is the owner of all this power? Apparently, Yamoshi's technique has had too many failures. I don't know how the devil was able to create from this scale of power. All the power of Goku would be felt by the other supreme gods, which knew that the bearer of that power could be considered a new supreme god. The power of that warrior is incredible. But it's amazing since apparently he wants to face the divine god Yamoshi. He's an idiot. At the moment, planets of all multiverses began to be destroyed due to the power that Yamoshi released, and he didn't care about the excess of energy that destroyed the planets around him. At the moment, Yamoshi would expel 4 spheres of energy of total devastation, which had completely destroyed the galaxy without the slightest effort. This is incredible. Yamoshi's power is such that, as the legends say, we only know his state of combat is capable of defeating him. Yamoshi at that moment, without waiting for anything, would attack Yamoshi, which was able to stop his blow with extreme difficulty, giving Yamoshi a blow, which would make him fall to a planet, destroying it completely. Yamoshi, very furious, would expel a power destroying everything around him. His screams even caused strong sonic waves, which were deadly to beings that are not at the level of a priest. Goku was watching Yamoshi fixedly. I don't know what happened to you, Yamoshi, but I promise to do everything to return to normality. All this is the fault of that damned Grand Priest. I will not forgive you. It is a damn scum that will ask for mercy. He will beg for his life. Goku, much more determined to defeat Yamoshi, would begin to clash his fists. However, Goku would notice that despite his blows connected to Yamoshi, they didn't do much damage. At the moment, Yamoshi would roar all over Goku's face, sending him to fly. Yamoshi, not losing the opportunity, would give him a rain of blows, which on that occasion made him vomit large amounts of blood. I can't believe it. Could it be that that giant was in our battle? He is capable of withstanding the blows of the powerful divine god Yamoshi-sama. Cyrus would be much more surprised to observe how 2 great energies collided. In an instant, a great explosion would be created all over the place, not allowing to see absolutely nothing. That's right, both warriors in the middle of the smoke continued with their great battle. Yamoshi again would be able to make Goku fall, but this time all his body and veins of energy were being affected by the excess of energy. Damn it. My body begins to hurt. This must be due to the fact that I never dominated this power with which I was born. I'm an imbecile, but I'm not allowed to lose. Goku would stand up very badly wounded, throwing himself again against Yamoshi, but the result would be the same. At the moment, Yamoshi would throw a great energy sphere, which would cause a great devastation wherever it passed. At the moment, great explosions were observed all over the place, leaving Goku very badly wounded. I have never used it, but I have no alternative. Kaioken increased 100 times. Goku used the Kaioken with the state of the Omni God, which was crazy, but he had the confidence that his body would bear it. While Goku activated the technique, his spiritual sea began to duplicate the energy transport. At the moment, Goku was able to activate the monstrous power.
The pressure was released and made Cyrus fall on his knees and all the other supreme gods, including Grand Priest, who felt like dying. Shino-sama would quickly access his form of combat, but he would still feel a great gravity on him. This is incredible. I can't believe it. The owner of that power is a monster. Shino-sama at the moment would throw a great energy sphere towards the Grand Priest, which acted as if it were a barrier to be able to withstand the pressure. Grand Priest, as much as being my guardian and priest, must have a much greater power. A simple pressure is capable of killing you, so see one of the rooms of the Divine Kingdom and train. As you order, my lord. I'm sorry, I will increase my power to be worthy of being your guardian. Great Shino-sama. Grand Priest would move at great speed towards one of the forbidden rooms. In the moment, Grand Priest, without losing a second, would begin his rigorous training. I will not let my dreams of becoming the king of everything be destroyed. I will do everything necessary to end that damned dwarf's life. Returning to the battlefield, the Goku's power had exploded, which would even surprise Yamoshi. However, before he could say anything, Goku had sent him to fly in a bestial blow which totally destroyed the planet where he was. At the moment, Goku would receive him with a strong kick, and at that moment, a great news would be observed. The power of Goku's kick was so great that it totally destroyed a Milky Way. The power of that dwarf is of another level. I'm not able to assimilate it. What the hell is this? Goku would continue with his great attack. At the moment, he would surround a planet, and without wasting any time, he would charge his most powerful attack, throwing it without thinking twice. Yamoshi would try to stop that incredible power, but it would be impossible for him. That's right, Goku's power on that occasion had been powerful enough to be able to leave him out of combat. But Goku's body had suffered an incredible damage, since at that moment the whole body would tear apart completely, and even large amounts of blood would fall to the ground. That has been very risky, but he has been able to beat the damned thing. At the moment, Goku in the same way wanted the ground out of combat. That's right. The power that he had used exceeded his limit, and at that precise moment, Cyrus would take both warriors and take them to places where both would be able to rest. However, in Yamoshi's mind, all the memories of his other timeline began to return, since Yamoshi had left a very powerful seat which would be able to break only when he observed Goku in his Omni state. Meanwhile, with all the other supreme gods, they had begun the reconstruction of several planets around him. But the king of everything followed his form of combat, and this was very thoughtful due to all the bestial power he felt. Who has all that power been from? Has he been able to release an atomic power? I don't know if I'm able to beat him, but despite the fact that I was born and trained, the power that has expelled that being has been incredible.
Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, the most powerful god among the 12 gods, that in the same way was very thoughtful for his defeat against that Saiyan, and in the same way with a little fear of knowing that he had been able to give a fair battle to the powerful Cyrus. Hey, I can't believe that Saiyan is not a god. How is it possible that he has all that beastly power? I have no idea, Mr. Beerus, but I'm 80% sure that the power he felt a few moments ago was the same as that Saiyan. Don't say that's stupidity, Mr. Beerus. The power he felt a little while ago was that of a true king of everything that is at the top, even equaling only Daishingan-sama or Asano-sama. I'm sure that Saiyan hides much more than he shows, Mr. Beerus, and we have to find out before something happens that affects our entire multiverse. Returning with both warriors, all his body and bad energy began to recover little by little. However, the negative energy that possessed Yamoshi's body was completely fading away, and Cyrus would notice that. What happens to Yamoshi's body, Sama? All the negative power that characterized him is disappearing completely. That's right, 3 months had quickly passed in which both Saiyans were still out of combat due to the brutal battle. Meanwhile, with Grand Priest, he had risen to his power in an incredible way, so much so that he even considered himself trusted to defeat those supreme gods. But he found himself in the same way somewhat thoughtful. My power has risen in an incredible way, but I can't believe the power that Yamoshi has and how his body releases all that negative energy that has happened to him. Grand Priest, without thinking about it, would continue with his great training. since the great priest wished to unlock all his hidden power so as not to be surprised again by the pair of supreme gods or even the power of the divine god Yamoshi. Meanwhile, with the king of all, Zeno, he was in the confines of the multiverse, percanting the dimensional crack that had created Yamoshi's technique. At the moment of Zeno approaching, a great hand would be able to hold him tightly in the face, entering the dimensional crack. At the moment, Zeno would put himself on guard, but even so, he was not able to dodge a great blow which made him vomit large amounts of blood. And in the same way, he had unbalanced all his sea of energy, with which on this occasion he was not able to do absolutely anything. However, Zeno would use a large amount of his angelic energy to seal the points in which he had caused great damage. What the hell are you? How have you been able to cause me all that incredible damage with a single blow? At the moment, a very peculiar subject would appear in front of Zeno. I am Archon, and I am the representation of the supreme power and the evil of the entire ancient universe. You are a damn bastard like to use Megaversal Reinitiation. What? Someone was able to use Megaversal Reinitiation? That cannot be true. How interesting. I did not expect that. Apparently it was not you who used Megaversal Reinitiation, but that doesn't interest me anymore. Right now I will finish you, damn king of everything. That will not be so easy for you. I am the super king of everything, which I have trained since its creation, so it will not be easy to defeat. Archon, without any effort, would begin to exchange blows with Zeno, which in each exchange of blows would be very exhausted. However, as more time passed, the bullet was put in favor of the warrior named Archon. For the first time, the king of everything, Zeno, was being overcome. At the moment, Archon would deliver a great blow which would send him again through the dimensional portal, making him fall to a very close planet. Archon would quickly enter the portal of Zeno, and at the instant Zeno would quickly communicate with the great priest, the trio of supreme gods, the divine god, and would even ask all the gods of destruction and angels to form a single warrior. Everyone would notice the orders of Zeno, with the exception of Yamoshi, who was still out of combat. While all the other warriors arrived, Archon Zeno was suffering the beatings of his life. That's right, Zeno no longer had the strength to continue with the fight, which in this occasion was abusing him as a simple punching bag. You are nothing more than a shame. Die! Archon would throw a great power. But at the moment, Mikoshin, with an abominable speed, would be able to save Zeno's life, and the other warriors would arrive at the instant. Second Supreme Goddess, ready for combat, we will not allow any being to put in danger our multiverse. But at the moment, Archon, without saying a word, would elevate a large part of his power with which he would even destroy each planet of the nearby universes. The powerful angel Mikoshin and Supreme Goddess of the Second Command was preparing for the great battle against Archon. At that precise moment, an abominable power would be felt all over the place. That's right, Mikoshin for the first time was releasing 100% of all his power, which had never been known by any other god. I still can't believe it. Mikoshin has been able to overcome the first Supreme God. Me being the second Supreme God, and even having the power so close to the first one, I feel that it completely overshadows me. At the moment of an incredible bang, a Karmes ray could be observed, and at a speed that no being was able to observe, they could only see how Archon fell to a planet, destroying it completely. But the attack of Mikoshin would not end there, because without waiting for his enemy to recover, he would throw millions of energy attacks with which he was massacring that being. The power of the powerful Mikoshin Sama is so sure that it can be compared to the power of the divine god Yamoshi. At the moment, a great explosion would be created all over the place, and Archon was observed without any scratch.
To be a god, you are very powerful, so I will not contend with you in the least. You are a scum aside of mine. Archon at the moment of flying through space was able to even bend everything at his pace. Mikoshin was not able to dodge that great blow of Archon, and this time he would be sent to fly to the most resistant planet of the 12 universes, being dragged all over the place. Frey would launch against Archon with the intention of helping Mikoshin, inversion of the underworld, divine annihilation. The whole place became like hell itself, while Frey's power increased in an incredible way. That's right, Frey's power in that technique multiplied 100 times more. So you are known as the first supreme god. But despite that, you will be nothing more than a simple forest aside of mine, since they are simple worms against me. Meanwhile, with Cirrus, she was very worried because she had noticed how Frey had used his forbidden technique. This is bad. I don't know what we can do. The power that is on one side of Mikoshin and Frey completely overshadows them. It's a gigantic power. Yamoshi at the moment would release an absolute power, which even his pressure was able to make Cirrus knee down. But unlike before, this time the color of his incredible pressure was a green color, similar to that of his legendary state, not with the essence of the massacre of before. That's right, the negative energy had been completely destroyed. Kakarot, after so many years I have been able to remember everything we have lived. We have to end the evil of Grand Priest before it can grow in an even more incredible way. Yamoshi would refer to Kakarot out of combat, and in the same way he would feel the power of the incredible warrior that was fighting against the supreme gods. Cirrus, please stay with Kakarot. I will face this new warrior. Apparently in my technique of Megaversal Restart, I had the best of failures, so even more powerful beings than a king have appeared. Yamoshi would leave at an incredible speed from the place, while Cirrus would be very surprised to know that everything Kakarot had told her was absolutely true. So everything Kakarot told me was true. Yamoshi and he were able to carry out the Megaversal Restart, which was said that only a king of everything was able to achieve it. Meanwhile, within Kakarot's body, all his power and even good energy were transporting much more power than usual. That's right, because of all the excess energy, for his healing it looked much more favorable for his internal energy. But the damage that Kakarot possessed was not an easy damage to resolve, because when using the Omni power, more than 50% of his good energy was completely destroyed by the incredible effort he made. Kakarot will not recover in a long time, so I have to help him, since even the power of the divine god Yamoshi, I doubt that he is able to defeat that subject.
Returning to the battlefield, Archon had been able to defeat both supreme gods. That's right. Although Frey used each of his techniques, they had not been enough to defeat that imposing warrior, which was even considered a dimensional god. However, instantly, Grand Priest along with the other gods arrived as reinforcements. Grand Priest was surprised to realize the power of this warrior, which he did not know either. Damn, Yamoshi, how have you been able to create warriors of such a power scale? That should be impossible for a being of your level. All angels are about to form into a single being, that's right, and a great pentagram would form everywhere, but as if it were a lightning bolt, Archon was able to finish off each of the deities. The only one to dodge the stealthy attack was Grand Priest. However, he had received some damage to his inner energy. What the hell, who is this being? The power he has is overwhelming. He was even able to do some damage to me despite dodging his most lethal blows. I can see that you are somewhat skilled, priest, since none of your children or gods was able to do anything to dodge it. I no longer wish that more worms get into my fight. At the moment of Grand Priest being about to say something, the incredible pressure of Yamoshi, the divine god, would be present in the battlefield. Mikoshin and Frey, who were on the verge of death, were surprised to observe the divine god. The powerful god of Imidor, Yamoshi, will help the king of everything? That's incredible. But there is something different.
the essence that ignites his body is not the one that usually emanated. Yamoshi, while increasing his power, would return to observe Grand Priest, who instantly noticed everything that was happening, since even the power of Yamoshi had returned to the essence of Yamoshi of his time. The essence of Yamoshi has become the same, but I feel confident to have this power to defeat that miserable. The same will not happen. Yamoshi instantly devoured a large part of his bestial power, with which he was even able to attract the attention of Archon, who would realize that Yamoshi's power was very similar to his, and that there was even an identical power in the grid between both multiverses. Your power seems familiar to me, with the power that is the Megaversal Reignition. Did you go? But no, that must be impossible, since the only one to perform such a feat is a king of everything. You can't imagine what I'm capable of doing, so you better get ready, damn worm. Archon, a little annoyed, would swing against Yamoshi, being able to give him a great blow by sending him to another planet, destroying him by impact. You have the power to eliminate planets, galaxies, and even universes, but I can see that you are not capable of eliminating a single person. Archon, before saying anything, would be sent to fly to a planet in the same way, while Yamoshi would go after him. At the moment, Yamoshi would begin to beat him with his life. Despite not possessing his negative power, the energy had grown millions of times more to the legendary power never to know a limit. Yamoshi would throw a great sphere of energy at that warrior, which at the point of dying, a 4-star dragon-shaped, bright yellow subject would face that great attack, being able to send him to another place with dimensional change. What the hell? That warrior's power is much greater than Archon's power. That must be a damn nightmare. I am the 4-star dragon, the stars of your natal universe. We, being infinite energy, could not return to the Megaversal Reboot, so we channeled all the energy of the Super Dragon Balls, taking our own form. No, damn it, that can't be happening. But don't worry, I know who has been the main responsible for all this, so right now I will end his pathetic life. The 4-star dragon at an incredible speed was able to hit Grand Priest in the stomach, which made him vomit large amounts of blood. However, at that precise moment, he would put his hand in his chest, tearing his heart completely. Because of that bastard, all this has happened, but this time we have to destroy this false Megaverse. I don't care if they have used a Megaversal Reboot. I'm not going to let my universe be destroyed. I will give all my energy if necessary for my multiverse to prosper. The dragon, at an incredible speed, was a few inches from ending the king of everything. However, Yamoshi expelled an incredible power from him, the pressure with which he was able to slow the dragon down a bit, giving Senozama the opportunity to dodge such a stealthy attack. But Yamoshi's pressure would not be enough for the true power of the 4-star dragon, which in the same way would expel his pressure and of a red color, being able to completely destroy Yamoshi's pressure. I know you never had anything to do with all that happened. You're just a collateral damage. I'm sorry, Senozama. The dragon, since allowing Yamoshi to speak, would be able to hit him thousands of times in a matter of seconds. That's right, the speed of the dragon was overwhelming. Meanwhile, on the planet of Yamoshi, at that moment, Goku would wake up. At last, I'm cured. Goku would quickly access his instincts, while Sirius would be very surprised, since for him to recover in this time it was impressive, but it was not the time for that impression, since both realized how Yamoshi's power was decreasing in an incredible way. I wanted to better help Yamoshi. I hope you now trust me, Sirius. Both warriors would arrive in a matter of seconds, with Goku being able to use teleportation. At the moment of arrival, Sirius would begin to transmit a great energy to the two supreme gods, which were badly wounded, while Goku approached and said to Senozama, "I know that in this beautiful season you do not know absolutely nothing about me, but I hope you can trust me. Do not start to be disappointed. You are right, I have never seen it, but I trust you, so you can leave all that in your hands, since even I, the real Toad, do not have enough power to protect his multiverse." Goku at the moment would observe how Yamoshi was brutally beaten. That's right, Yamoshi was not able to do anything. At the moment he would be sent to fly, falling to a planet completely out of combat. Yamoshi, you are nothing compared to me. I have absolute power. Absolute power? Do not make me laugh. You have not yet faced me. Another garbage. I do not know why beings who do not have the necessary power always believe that they can finish you off with everything. When I show you the power beyond a king of everything, let's see if you still believe that I am garbage. Yamoshi at the moment would begin to access the power beyond a king of everything. That's right, Goku was accessing the Omni Supersonic, the power with which he was born, the power that was able to even defeat the negative energy of the divine god Yamoshi. The whole place was being destroyed much more. However, the dragon was not surprised in the slightest. At the moment of a great light, Goku would appear with his most powerful transformation, and at the moment of the dragon observing him, he would be surprised. You do not have the complete power, but you really possess the Omni God power, and this is incredible. It is a real feat. Both warriors began with a battle which, for the first time, Goku, despite using all his power, was only able to match his opponent, feeling completely angry. But when he asked to give him the composure, his opponent took advantage by connecting a stealthy blow, sending him to a planet. At the moment, Goku would stand up with a very serious look. I do not care to risk again. I will not let this damn thing end with all this. Kaioken has increased 100 times. That's right, Goku would activate the Kaioken again, but the power was thousands of times more at the same time that he faced Yamoshi. Goku's power was increasing in an unreal way, so much that this time even the dragon would be very surprised and would begin to panic for all the bestial power that emanated from Goku's body and even that he was able to bear. Goku's incredible power in its Omni form with the Kaioken increased 100 times was overwhelming, so much that a sphere of fire would form around the 4-star dragon. That's right, due to the incredible pressure that emanated from Goku's body, it was so much that it even began to cause him great damage. The power of that damn thing rises in incredible scales. I cannot believe the power that he is capable of supporting his whole body. He is a mere mortal. At the moment of an incredible Megaversal explosion, Goku would observe himself, but as if it were a lightning bolt, he was able to cross the body of fire that his opponent had, managing to connect a blow so powerful that it would make him fall to the ground. However, Goku's attack would not end there, since a supreme speed would begin to massacre him in blows. That's right, Goku was furious. Meanwhile, Kurosawa and the others would march everywhere, since even Goku's mere presence was able to take their breath away. At the moment of reaching the Kingdom of Everything, Cirrus, with her great power, was able to reactivate the internal flow of energy of Yamoshi. For the first time, the power of the divine god Yamoshi has been able to reach extremely low scales. I cannot believe it. Yamoshi's power is decided that he did not know limits, but we can never underestimate all the monsters that live in the other universes since it has overwhelming power. Returning to the battlefield, it was possible to observe how both warriors were collecting two powerful attacks, but at the moment of exploding, both launched one against the other, but the battle was about to last a long time. Goku's power would begin to diminish significantly, and that the 4-star dragon would be noticed, which had been completely injured.
The dragon would use one of his techniques, then managing to leave Goku blind for a few minutes. At the moment, he would not be able to observe him anywhere. Damn it, that bastard is very smart. He was able to realize that the power I possess is not my usual power, so he has decided to hide until my power diminishes. What the hell do I do? Goku would begin to insult him throughout the universe, but the dragon did not fall into his provocations. However, in one of the many-dimensional cries, he was furious. No, that bastard has humiliated me. It is assumed that I am one of the most powerful warriors of the 12 universes. I possess the infinite power of the Super Dragon Balls. Goku would realize that the warrior would be able to finish him, and in case the Kaioken reached its limit, it would begin to carry a great catastrophic sphere of power in the palm of his hands, of such devastating energy that it would begin to cause great damage everywhere. You are a damn coward. But I do not care to destroy all these dimensions, since they are created by negative energy. Die! Goku would throw such a tremendous attack while the 4-star dragon was very confident. However, his smile and confidence must have crumbled, realizing how such beastly power was capable of even destroying reality itself. That's right, such a brutal attack was capable of colliding with the 4-star dragon. The moment Goku realized this, he would stretch his hand. Atomic reduction, molecular destruction. All the incredible power that was about to end all the timelines was reduced in an incredible way, while all that great energy was focused exclusively on your enemy, which was turned into simple dust in the universe. However, Kakarot was able to dodge millions of lightning attacks from a completely different subject, because the appearance of this was of a child, while the entire lower part of his body was of a dark color. I am the 2-star humanoid dragon, and I realize how I was able to end my brother's life, but I thank you. Now I will keep all his power. At the moment, all the power of the 4-star dragon would begin to enter the body of the 2-star subject. Goku would try to stop him, but it was impossible. At the moment, he was even able to assimilate all that beastly power. We have the infinite energy of the Super Dragon Balls. We are able to assimilate all the power of the other sphere, and we plan to destroy all that temporary garbage line. Damn, that's going to kill me. The power that I possess does not compare to the 4-star dragon. At the moment, the warrior would launch himself against Goku, being able to deliver a few blows to him, which Goku, despite dodging them, was extremely complicated. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, the warriors were very surprised to realize that the 2-star dragon had appeared. Damn, this is really bad. If what we are deducing is correct, that means that there are 7 warriors with a similar power, and in case everyone can absorb the power of the others, we will be dead. I'm sorry. I was the one who made the universal restart, but I never thought something like this would happen, so I myself plan to fix it. Divine God Yamoshi, but tell us, how do you plan to fix it? It is even that divine in the name of Goku, whose power is greater than yours, is being cornered by the 2-star dragon. I really don't have a clear answer to how I will defeat them, but I don't plan to let all this end. I am the divine God Yamoshi. I will be able to finish off each of those damn bastards. At the moment, an incredible scuttling would be felt throughout the Kingdom of Everything. That's right, the clash of his fists was even able to destroy planets from all universes. On this occasion, Goku was not able to neutralize the collisions of his fists. I'm sorry to everyone. I promise to bring them to life. Do not promise anything that you will not be able to fulfill, since this will be your last battle. Goku would take distance and his serious look could be observed. I do not care if my body is destroyed. I do not care if you say you have infinite power or supreme power, since I have been able to locate your 3 companions and they will not be able to arrive in time when I annihilate you. Don't make me laugh. Do you think you have the necessary power to annihilate me? Ri was not able to continue making fun of himself, since at that moment a great fist was able to send him to fly to a planet, while Goku with his impressive speed would head towards Ri. However, Ri, being much more powerful than his previous opponent, was able to give him a great kick, which would send him to a planet in the same way. At the moment, Goku would fall like a lightning bolt to the planet, and large amounts of blood would come out of his mouth. The ensis of this subject are incredible. They are not able to bear them. My body suffers an incredible damage. Meanwhile, Goku's mind was able to observe himself, but this Goku was chained. What the hell are you? Are you me? That's right, I am you and you are me. I have always been here chained. I look like a damn slave. What are you? I do not understand. Alright, Goku and Kakarot will form a single being again. In an instant, Goku with his great power would be able to transmit a little power to Kakarot's body, while that with the power was able to break all the chains in which they had him completely retained. Returning to the outside world, all this had happened in a matter of seconds, in which Raikal had larded a large massive sphere of destruction. Frey, Sirius, Mikoshin, take me to that place. There I preferred that I die. Kakarot is the one who must save this whole multiverse. If we wanted to take you, we would not be able to approach, since the power that possessed that attack is even capable of interfering with all dimensional change. Die, damn it. With you less, only those damn worms remain. Not so much. In the whole place, an incredible scream would resonate throughout the multiverse. This is the incredible power. I will end you, damn scum. Goku was able to stop that large, massive energy sphere. While all this was happening, his hair was turning a blood-red color and the essence of massacre increased in an incredible way. The environment had become much more chaotic than Rico's infernal technique. Where does he get so much power from? That must be impossible. You are correct. Miko-shin, you have been able to release much more power, but at this time, the power you dispense is pure evil. The power and essence that released that superior line is my massacre essence. What the hell did he do? Having that negative energy, is he not capable of corrupting himself? Returning to the battlefield, the powerful Goku would begin to walk towards Ri, who at this time, while walking, the form of death was emanating from his back. Ri would involuntarily take a few steps back. Are you afraid? I would never be afraid of being like you. Ri was not able to finish a sentence, since at that moment Goku was able to thrust his hand into his chest, being able to tear his heart apart. At the moment Goku would turn, however Ri would throw a large energy sphere. Damn it, that hurt me too much, but we Supreme Dragons do not depend on an organ like the heart to survive. To finish with us, you must pulverize every cell of our body, and that is impossible to you. That attack has not been able to do me any scratch, but I find it interesting what you just told me, so I can humiliate you for much longer. Goku, without waiting for Ri to recover completely, would begin to hit him, which Ri on this occasion was not able to do absolutely anything. At the moment, Ri would fall to the ground very badly wounded, and on the verge of death, he would feel how the true terror would invade his body. And using only the remaining drop of energy, he would try to escape from the place. A ray could be seen moving away. With that speed, it is impossible for me to reach him. However, at the moment, he would collide with something as strong as steel, and his worst nightmare was in front of him. That's right, Goku was able to reach him and even overcome him, making Ri hit his chest. I did not think that a being from the Dragon Ball Super would feel terror or fear. I thought it was the negative energy of our previous multiverse. Ri would try to escape again, but this time Goku, with no mercy, with a great energy attack, would be able to completely pulverize Goku, leaving no cell of him. With this, I only have 5, but I don't know why I only feel the power of 3. That might be because the others were absorbed by the others, so we must prepare. Goku would begin to meditate to be able to master all that incredible power. He would walk through his veins, and even with his meditation, an incredible power would be unleashed from his body. What will happen? Will Goku be able to fuse completely with Kakarot? Who will be the remaining 3 dragons? See you in the next chapter. Well, friends, that's all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it, and if you did, do not forget to leave your super like, comment, and subscribe. See you in a new video. A greeting, and until next time.